I love the people of Mexico, and the people of Mexico are good friends. But isn't a big part of the problem that President Lopez Obrador and now President Sheinbaum, thank you for correcting me, by the way, live in the right front pocket of the Mexican drug cartels?
I disagree with that statement.
I thought you might. You want more task forces. Dr. Westlake, this represents 400 grams of fentanyl.
What if a deadly drug that can wipe out an entire city gets punished less than other narcotics? In this heated Senate moment, Kennedy breaks down fentanyl laws using real numbers, and what he reveals sounds unbelievable. His conclusion: this is deeply stupid. Welcome back to Capitol Deep Dive. This Senate exchange zeroes in on one of the most dangerous drugs in America, fentanyl. Senator John Kennedy starts by connecting the crisis to Mexico, questioning whether leadership has done enough to confront powerful drug cartels. But the real focus quickly shifts to something even more alarming: U.S. sentencing laws. Kennedy lays out a series of comparisons. He explains that just 400 grams of fentanyl could kill an entire city.
The flow of fentanyl. Senator Kennedy.
Dr. Farfan, the president of Mexico until 2024 was President Lopez Obrador. Is that right? And he ran for president with respect to the cartels on the slogan, "Hugs, not bullets." Is that right?
Well, no, he did not run on his campaign
Yes, he
with that
did.
slogan.
Yes, he did. Now, his hand-picked successor is President Steinbaum. Is that correct?
Sheinbaum.
Is that correct?
Gloria Sheinbaum.
Right. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. I love the people of Mexico, and the people of Mexico are good friends. But isn't a big part of the problem that President Lopez Obrador and now President Sheinbaum, thank you for correcting me, by the way, live in the right front pocket of the Mexican drug cartels?
I disagree with that statement.
I thought you might. You want more task forces. Dr. Westlake, this represents 400 grams of fentanyl. Kill every person in Providence, Rhode Island. If you're a dealer and you get caught with this, you get 10 years minimum. This represents 40 grams of fentanyl. Would kill every single man, woman, and child in Culpeper, Virginia.
Grams could wipe out a community. Yet under current law, the penalties for fentanyl don't always match its lethal potential. In fact, Kennedy points out something striking: dealers caught with tiny amounts of other drugs can face the same mandatory minimum sentences as those carrying far more dangerous fentanyl. His reaction is blunt: that makes no sense. The argument isn't about politics, it's about logic. If fentanyl is exponentially more deadly, shouldn't the law reflect that? So Kennedy proposes a fix, lowering the
But as a dealer, you get a 5-year minimum sentence. This is where it gets special. This represents 10 grams of PCP. If you get caught with it, as a dealer, you get 5 years minimum. Is fentanyl more dangerous than PCP?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator. The fentanyl is classified, can be classified as a lethal weapon. I did a chart on it, and
This is 5 grams of meth. That's what this represents. If you're a dealer and you get caught with it, your minimum sentence is 5 years. Is fentanyl? You get caught with this much fentanyl, 5 years or 10 years. Get caught with this much fentanyl, 5 years. Get caught with this much meth, you can hardly see it, you get 5 years. Does that make any sense to you?
No, sir.
It's like cell deep stupid, isn't it? You don't need a task force to see the logic of that. I've got a bill, it's called the Fairness in Fentanyl Sentencing, I've reintroduced. This bill will lower the 5-year mandatory minimum for 40 grams of fentanyl to 2 grams of fentanyl. It'll lower the 10-year mandatory minimum from 400 grams of fentanyl to 20 grams of fentanyl. This bill won't punish addicts. It'll help. It's not going to help until President Lopez Obrador and President Scheinbaum get out of the pockets of the drug cartels. But it's a start. This bill will punish dealers. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Senator Whitehouse.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Welcome to all the witnesses.
So Kennedy proposes a fix lowering the thresholds that trigger mandatory minimum sentences for fentanyl dealers. The goal: target traffickers more aggressively without punishing addicts. But he also makes one thing clear: policy changes alone won't solve the crisis. As long as cartels continue operating freely, the pipeline stays open. This moment highlights a bigger issue: when laws fail to match reality, consequences can be deadly. This is Capital Deep Dive.